Intense rivalry among European powers characterized the late 1800s and early 1900s. The measure of a nation's strength lay in its wealth, resources, territorial holdings, and military might. This gave rise to the concept of militarism, where leaders in many countries believed that a robust military was essential for achieving political and economic objectives. Naval budgets surged annually, particularly in countries like Great Britain and Germany. To avoid isolation in case of conflict, two significant military alliances emerged. Germany, concerned about potential encirclement, formed an agreement with Austria-Hungary for mutual support in a European war. Similarly, Russia and France forged a similar pact. Admiration for military virtues such as discipline, self-sacrifice, and obedience grew. War began to be perceived as an adventurous opportunity to defend one's nation, even to the point of sacrificing one's life. Karl Pearson, a British writer of that era, asserted the necessity of wars. He argued that nations could establish their rightful position in the world by contest, chiefly by way of war with inferior races, and with equal races by the struggle for trade routes and for the sources of raw materials and food supply. Count Theobald von Bethmann-Hollweg, the German chancellor at the turn of the 20th century, contended that the maxim "the weak will be the prey of the strong" remained relevant. He believed that nations unable or unwilling to invest sufficiently in armaments would fall behind. European countries eagerly anticipated war to showcase their supremacy. They built up formidable militaries and established alliances, committing to assist their allies in case of conflict. This situation resembled a powder keg, with a small spark having the potential to trigger a catastrophic explosion. Tensions had simmered across Europe, particularly in the volatile Balkan region, for years prior to the outbreak of World War I. Pre-existing alliances among European powers, the Ottoman Empire, Russia, and others faced threats due to political instability in the Balkans, particularly in Bosnia, Serbia, and Herzegovina. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, ignited a series of events. Austria-Hungary accused the Serbian government of the attack, aiming to use the incident to address Serbian nationalism. The assassin, a supporter of Serbia, prompted Austria-Hungary's invasion of Serbia within a month. Given the network of alliances in Europe, the continent soon plunged into war. This escalated into a global conflict due to the numerous colonial possessions of European nations. On July 5, Kaiser Wilhelm secretly assured Austria-Hungary of Germany's support through a carte blanche or blank check assuring them of their support should a war break out. Austria-Hungary then issued an ultimatum to Serbia, containing almost unacceptably harsh terms. Convinced of an impending war, Serbia mobilized its army and sought assistance from Russia. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28, leading to the collapse of the fragile peace between major European powers. Within a week, Austria-Hungary and Germany were faced with opposition from Russia, Belgium, France, Great Britain, and Serbia, officially commencing World War I. This four-year conflict revolutionized warfare, becoming one of the deadliest confrontations in history. With dwindling resources on the battlefield, internal discontent, and Ally surrender, Germany sought an armistice on November 11, 1918, marking the end of World War I. During the Paris Peace Conference in 1919, Allied leaders aimed to establish a post-war world that could prevent future devastating conflicts. Some optimists referred to World War I as the war to end all wars. However, the Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, failed to achieve this lofty ambition. The burden of war guilt, hefty reparations, and exclusion from the League of Nations left Germany feeling deceived by the treaty. This sentiment evolved into a smoldering resentment that would contribute to the outbreak of World War II 2 decades later. Aftermath. Over 9 million soldiers lost their lives during World War I, with an additional 21 million suffering injuries. The civilian death toll reached nearly 10 million. Germany and France bore the brunt of the impact, as roughly 80% of their male populations aged 15 to 49 were enlisted in the conflict. The turmoil stemming from World War I also played a role in the downfall of four esteemed imperial dynasties: Germany, Austria-Hungary, Russia, and Turkey. The Great War triggered extensive societal transformations, as millions of women joined the workforce to fill the void left by men who fought and never returned. The First Global War facilitated the dissemination of one of history's deadliest worldwide epidemics, the Spanish flu outbreak of 1918, which claimed an estimated 20 to 50 million lives. The movement of soldiers and refugees contributed to the rapid spread of this influenza pandemic, also known as the Spanish flu. Many technologies now associated with military engagements, such as machine guns, tanks, aerial combat, and radio communications, were introduced on a grand scale during World War I. The geopolitical map of Europe underwent a lasting transformation as victorious Allied powers divided territories among themselves. The United States emerged as a global powerhouse. Chemical weaponry like mustard gas and phosgene, alongside innovations such as machine guns, tanks, and aerial warfare, made their debut. A protocol established during the 1925 Geneva Conference for the Supervision of the International Traffic in Arms imposed limitations on the usage of chemical and biological agents in warfare. We will be back with more videos on events that have a huge impact on our current lives. Until then, stay tuned. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.